Most of you are probably very familiar with these three guys, just 4.5-inch generic cutoff wheels. They are incredibly useful, incredibly inexpensive, and incredibly dangerous. So there is a reason I have three of these, because if you've ever worked with these, switching back and forth between attachments it's a pain in the butt. If you're cutting stuff and then immediately need to go back to the flap disc to sand it, I mean, that just sucks. So I have three of them. I'm gonna link these in the description. These are Craftsman. They're very inexpensive, and the best thing about them is they have this tiny body. This is not a big grinder. It's got a 6-amp motor in it, which is plenty of power. And because it's so small, I can get it into all kinds of weird places. I like this so much better than even the bigger and beefier ones. I love these. And if you ever burn one out, which I mean, you can see these things have seen some abuse. I've never destroyed any of them. It's inexpensive to replace. Flap discs are awesome. These do a really nice job of relatively fine sanding and grinding. Do use grinder wheels as well for taking off heavier chunks of material. And then for cutting, I only use these diamond bits or these diamond blades now because they are crazy efficient at cutting and 100 times safer than the typical consumable blades that wear down as you use them. If you've ever seen one of these things blow apart, not these blades, but the consumable, abrasive ones, yeah, you'll probably never use this again. So these metal diamond blades are so much better, so much safer. And I grabbed these on Amazon. They're pretty cheap too. And compared to the abrasive cutoff wheels, one of these is good for at least probably a dozen, if not closer to 20 abrasive wheels before this stops, cutting efficiently. So you're changing it a whole lot less often too. It's just, I can't say enough good things about the metal diamond blades. Those things are excellent. So that is at its most basic level. If you've just got to cut metal in the cheapest way possible, those are the guys to do it. If you're getting into some beefier stuff or want better control over the quality and straightness of your cuts, a metal chop saw like this is definitely the way to go. These aren't too expensive. They're usually around 150 bucks. They use a 12-inch disc, and you have the option here to go with the abrasive discs, just like the angle grinders, or you can go with the metal diamond coated blades. You can see which one I prefer here as well. This at least is a little bit safer if you are using the abrasive wheels. It's enclosed for the most part and tends to be a little bit safer, but still, these metal ones, you just replace them half as often, way less than half as often. So nice to have a chop saw. You can adjust your angles here, and it's just a good tool for cutting, especially long pieces of steel, and does a nice job. Now, if you really want to be the coolest kid at the party, get yourself a plasma cutter. These things are phenomenal for doing all kinds of things that neither of those other two mechanical cutting options can do. Obviously with this, you can draw any shape and just cut it out. You see some of those cool signs made out of metal. This guy's your friend for stuff like that. Most importantly, it's crazy efficient at cutting through heavy steel. And it can also cut in places that you can't get a normal tool like that. I can't tell you how much I've used it on this recent build that I'm working on the Grand National, just to get in weird places that I couldn't get a blade or even a Sawzall in some cases, but I can fit the head of this in there and just carve me out the hole that I need. So these are an excellent investment for anybody that's doing anything with metal. If you can swing it, and again, you don't have to spend much. This was the cheapest one I could find on Amazon many years ago. It has given me zero trouble. The way a plasma cutter cuts is very similar to the way a welder welds. The main difference is with this guy, we are taking all of that heat generated between those two conductors, and we are putting pressurized air behind it, forcing that through. So it ends up making a little cone, tiny little cone of plasma that will cut through via melting just about anything that's in its way that is conductive. So it's kind of fun to play with too, because you just cut stuff off and it sounds cool, and it's cool. So we're back on that 1/8-inch plate here, and just give you an idea how efficiently this would cut. You can also use it, and I find myself doing this all the time, I will use it to cut myself just regular pilot holes through metal where it would take forever with a drill bit. you can just pop them right through. So as you can see, it actually does a really nice job. Again, knockoff Chinese brand, who cares? Look at the cuts this thing makes after years and years. And through 1/8 inch plate, and this will do, a 50 amp machine will do 1/4 inch actually pretty easily at a reasonable speed. You can go even thicker than 1/4 inch on 50 amps if you don't mind going, taking more time, going slower with it. For precise cuts, you can do that as well. You just set yourself up a fence to work with. So if I wanted to cut a straight line here, I would clamp this piece down onto my work piece, and then all I really need to do is just keep it up tight to that and drag it down. You can make some really nice sharp cuts. I've done it on stuff I can't really get a saw on, but I want a nice straight cut just by doing that. So plasma torch, if anything else, it improves your safety of metal cutting because it's not mechanical, and it improves your speed, just your efficiency. It just cuts through heavy stuff so quickly, makes a real big difference in your metal working game. As far as air, you can run, I would say, even down to a 3 cubic feet per minute air compressor. It doesn't take anything serious when it comes to its air requirement. The only thing you do need for those is a 220 volt outlet, because it takes some juice to get it going, but that's about it. Okay, well, this just got awkward. Kind of forgot to film an outro for this because this video was supposed to be part of my welding video and ended up having too much content, so I split it up. With that said, if there's anything else that you see tool-wise me use in the shop that you have an interest in knowing a little bit more about or getting some more information, just throw it down in the comment section. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. It'd mean the world to me. But as always, everybody, any questions, comments, concerns, or criticisms, throw them down in the comment section below me. Otherwise, have a great day.